Hello and welcome to the Greg Fearon podcast with your host, Greg Fearon. And today is a special episode. I've got the amazing Lou Roberts on, and Lou is a client of mine. So, Lou, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Excited to have you here.
Oh my God, it's exciting to be here. I've never done this before.
It's all good. It's all good. I think the last tiger that we had was your friend Lax.
I know, yes. Oh, yeah. She was good on here as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been wanting to get more of you on to talk about your experiences and just things you've learned, because I think there's lots of value you can share with the world about your own journey.
hmm
So, do you want to just tell people a little bit about who you are and then your backstory about how you came to be where you are now?
So, I'm obviously Louise. I'm a mother of three. I am a mental health support worker as well. And I have my own business as well. I'm a lash tech as well. So I do all that, squeeze all this all in. And when did I start? When did I join with yourself? 3 years ago now.
Must be, yeah, 3 years, yeah.
3 years ago, we had a discussion. I'm going to keep saying this. I hope your sister hears this. Where Sel and your sister and you had a conversation, and I was going to join. Well, we was going to join your project fit in the Beacon.
Mm-hmm.
And you said to myself and your sister was like, all right, come on the Saturday morning. So I was there geared up, like, yeah, come on, Keisha, meet you up there. What I think it was 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And I only turned up because I was like, oh, where's Keisha? You was like, I don't know, but come on, let's just get to work. So obviously that's when I met all the other tigers there. Lovely. That was when I first met Shirley and some other ladies. And from that day, I was just like, yeah, I can do this. I can really do this. And I enjoyed it. And then obviously we had a discussion afterwards, and obviously I said, yes, I'm gonna start joining. And then we started training, what was it, 3 days a week up the Beacon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days, yeah, 3 times a week. And then obviously COVID hit, isn't it? So it was goodbye to the Beacon.
In-person training was
Yes,
put on the back burner, unfortunately.
yeah, it was. But then we did it online, isn't it? We went on Zoom. I
Mm-hmm.
think everybody was like, how is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? Because even I said to myself, how is this gonna work? Like, I'm training at home. Like, how's this gonna work? And once obviously we got all the weights and everything, it worked because it was just like I had everything, and it was a mind over matter thing. I was like, you know what? The Beacon's gone now. Like, I'm here. I've got my computer. Log on. Everything can be done, and it did get done. And then obviously, yeah. So obviously, I've been training up until what, this day.
Mm.
Um, but obviously, for the reason for me to be actually starting with yourself was mainly because obviously at the time I've got twin boys out of the three, and they did a lot of football and running around and all that. And at that time, at my heaviest, I couldn't keep up with them. I couldn't keep up with them. So obviously that's when I decided, like, obviously I remember I've had conversations with yourself many of years. For your listeners, I've known Greg since I've been a teen. And many years I've been saying I'm gonna come. Even when you was at Cedars, I'm like, I think I did one session with you and your other sister. I didn't
Mhm.
come back. But I think, like, yeah, it got to that point where I was like, you know what, I've really got to do something with myself. And I've really just got to, like, just make myself feel better, and also live a better, healthier life.
Mm.
So obviously, once I got started training with you and started doing my nutrition properly, and seeing that, you know what, you can eat certain things, but you just don't need to be eating it like overboard like I was, because I don't know how much I was eating. I think it was about 3,000 or maybe even more when you add on takeaways here and there. But yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle in the beginning because obviously it's a shock to the system. This is something
Mhm.
new, isn't it?
Yep.
Like, you're adding more veg and you're adding more this, and it's like, oh. body's like, oh my God, Louise. But as the months and obviously the years, even to this day, went on, it just got easier and easier. Even when the weight started to drop off, yeah, at first you're like, oh my God, is this really me? But then yeah, it is me. And then I loved it. Well, I still do. Like, I'm just loving what I see in the mirror now. Because obviously before, it was literally like walking past the mirror. It was like the only time I ever looked in the mirror if I was going to do my hair or
So,
my makeup.
so that's a very interesting point. So are you telling me that you would avoid the mirror?
Of course. And to everybody, I'm telling you, I have like a wardrobe, a mirror from the ceiling to the floor, and I would literally zoom past it because it's like I don't need to look at myself like that. Only like I said, if I'm doing makeup, I would listen. When I'm doing my makeup, it's literally I'm looking up from my neck up. I'm not looking down. That's how much I didn't really like the way how I looked.
Wow, that's so now you hear yourself saying that. What kind of thoughts come into your head?
I'm thinking, oh my God, I really, really thought like that. Like I'm just like, it just goes to show how really unhappy I was to be to avoid the mirror. It's just to think about that now, it's like nuts. But back then, I would. I would wear clothes to cover up my arms. Like you remember when I went, even when I first started training with you, I would wear the long sleeves with a t-shirt and over it. Remember? And you always say, Louise, why are you? And I'm like, no. I always had this thing about my arms. And then now I'm like in sleeveless. Even now I'm in sleeveless.
Let's see the guns. Nice.
So
Hmm.
yeah. It is a bit crazy to think that I did actually my mind was actually like that.
So I know something that we've talked about in your journey has been the reactions from other people to you.
Mhm. Yeah. In the beginning, obviously everybody, especially coming from a West Indian family, and I was always the heavy one, isn't it? Oh, you look well. That's the way of them saying that you are heavy, but you look well. So obviously, especially obviously in COVID, not a lot of people did see me. So obviously, when we came out of COVID, I think that's where my majority of my weight where I lost was in COVID times. So obviously, we wasn't really. I was only going to work and I was at home, and that was it. Didn't see
Mhm.
family, anybody. So when the restrictions were up, people started to see me. They were like, "Oh my God, is that you, Louise?" I was like, "Yeah." "Oh my God, you look so different. Like, what have you done?" And then I've had a few say, I went on a secret holiday to Turkey. And I was just like, I've never been to Turkey in my life.
So are you saying they thought that you had gone to Turkey and got some secret surgery?
Yes. And then obviously went in hiding, it all dropped off, and now I'm out to show the world. But no. Then I actually went to Jamaica when those restrictions were up, I went to Jamaica to visit family. And they call it sugar, but obviously we call it diabetes over here. They
Yeah.
thought that I had that. That's why all my weight is just dropped off. I look ill.
Wow.
Yes, I've had a lot, but as the last say 2 years now, because obviously I haven't really gained any weight, I still kind of look the same. A lot
Mhm.
of people are used to it, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, you really kept it off," and I'm just like, "Well, of course I have, because this is what I wanted. Like I wanted to make myself feel and look better."
Mhm.
So
So,
yeah, they're used to it now.
so if I remember rightly, I know we don't really do weight per se, but I know originally
No.
when I dropped about 25 pounds, you took like
Mhm.
8 inches off your stomach.
Mhm.
But aside from those things, what's been the biggest impact to your life now than to how you were before?
You know what? Confidence, and I actually got my and me starting my own business as well. Because I feel like, I don't know, I can't really say because obviously I'm not that person anymore, but I doubt it. I would have pursued another career. I think I would have stayed in that comfort zone. Like, I'm just going to stick to my little, I work for obviously healthcare. I'm happy with doing that. But obviously, I actually do enjoy the beauty side, and I do. A lot of people know that I do love eyelashes, nails. So I indulged in the eyelashes, and I actually love doing it. And I'm so glad that I had that confidence and just to go out there and be like, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do another skill
Mm-hmm.
and put myself out there.
Awesome.
Because before, I don't think I would have. I would have been just, yeah, I don't think I would have done it.
So really, you saying that your weight was kind of holding you back from doing other?
Yeah, it was. It was because I'm not gonna lie, as a tech, you're sitting down with your back straight for quite a long time. Every client is about an hour and a half,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a bit longer. I know with my heavier side, I couldn't sit up for that long. I couldn't. Most
Wow.
of the time, I hated standing. I couldn't even stand up for that long. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I need to sit down.
Mm.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's a big dip. Yeah.
And what have the twins said to you? Because obviously, I know they're too cheeky,
Oh my gosh.
so and so. So what have they said?
Them two, because obviously they've seen the progress, isn't it? Because they've been there. So at first they were like, "Oh, mum, why are you always exercising?" And I said, "You know what? You'll see." And then obviously when we was doing a lot of walking and then we started running, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is why." I said, "Yeah, because I can keep up with you guys. You're not leaving me behind." And then now, even to this day, I think they're like, they do little jokes like, oh, you know, when you used to be fat, right? You know, or and they're like, oh, no, 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 sorry, not fat, you know, a bit heavier, you know, you wasn't this fun. And I was just like, wow,
Wow. So they see you in a different light now.
they see me in a different light, big time. And I'm glad. I feel like they're getting the best out of me now. And it's sad to say that they weren't getting the best out of me before when I was a little bit heavier, but I'm glad I decided to do this, and yeah, I'm getting a better Louise now.
So I remember when you messaged me one morning and said, "Oh, I'm going for a run," and I was like, "What? Run?"
And I was the one to say I never run. I will never run
But why did you say you'd never run before?
because I thought at that time I couldn't run. I don't think the everything is just moving and it's just a bit like it's a bit too much.
Okay, I got it. The jiggle didn't feel comfortable.
Right. And then obviously when I did lose a few lbs, I was just like, I think I can run, you know, because I feel a little lighter. And then when I did 5 minutes, then I did 10. It was like every week I would go up a little bit. And then now, to this day, I still run. I run twice a week now, and I do 25 minutes, and it feels good. I'm not, you know, like when you run, and you're like, like you feel like you're gonna die. Like, yeah, I feel good. So I do 25 minutes, and then I'll probably do like a 40-minute walk, and then that usually starts my day.
Awesome. So I guess one of the big things I guess anyone will listen to is they would understand nutrition because I know I bang on about nutrition to the fact that you're probably bored of hearing my voice.
Yeah.
What have you learned about nutrition in your journey? Because you must have a wealth
No,
of
but I
knowledge.
didn't really know much about because obviously I'm a pescatarian, so like all I knew was like, oh, okay, just a little drop of veg would do, and a lot of carbs and a bit of fish or whatever fish I would want to have. But I never really dilly dallied in like how much you need protein in your diet. Because now I've upped my protein, and I actually feel good. Like I have the certain amount. Obviously, I top on my veg like crazy. I do like veg now. Before it was like, ugh.
I remember you and my sister used to come home with a takeaway sometimes, and I'd be like, yeah,
I'm like, ugh. But now it's like I love veg. I love everything. I love carbs. But my protein, yeah, especially with my fish, I eat a lot of obviously a lot of fish, and I just bump it up as much as I can, and it's helped me out with it. Like energy wise, I'm telling you, I've never felt this good in a long time.
got it. So was it hard to make the switch?
In the beginning,
Hmm.
oh yeah, definitely. Because it was just like I was weighing everything, and I'm just like I remember one time when because I like to bulk cook.
Hmm.
Because obviously my schedule with work and everything, I don't like to cook two meals at the same day. So I'd rather just bulk mine and then I cook for household. fresh. So in the beginning, I was just like, oh, Louise, what are you doing? Like, what is this? I remember you gave me a booklet with all like stuff that like snacks are under 100 calories, some recipes and all that. And I was just like, oh, I don't think I can do this. But once I started, obviously the first say month was a struggle because it was just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to myself? But then I stopped thinking like, what am I like? Why am I thinking like this? I said, no, Louise, you're doing this for a reason. Like you want to better yourself. So let's just switch up a little bit. Just get the fish that you really like. Get the carbs that you really like. Switch up, make it. Oh, let's spice it up. Let's do like a vegetable fried rice or And
Mhm.
once I started doing that, it's just been like a breeze.
Okay, cool. So obviously, like you said, the initial struggle, but because it was all new to you to eat vegetables.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
Oh my gosh. It was just like, oh. But now I'm like broccoli, beans, you name it, I love it. Apart from cauliflower, that's the only thing I don't like.
what's wrong with cauliflower?
Oh, the taste. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a fan.
Isn't it not the same as broccoli?
No, there's a different taste to it, I think. Well, yeah, I think it's a bit more bitter than broccoli.
Yeah, it's not as tasty for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
So I guess obviously there's the training, and obviously you started to do more weight training.
hmm
How's that been for you?
Obviously in the beginning, like weight training is like, oh my God, I'm gonna get bulky. You know, when people like, yeah,
Get off
I'm
the
gonna bulk
podcast.
up.
Bye.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get bulky. No, because I always, obviously when you're new to this, you read what the like online or magazines, and you're just like, oh my God, they do so much weight. Like look how they're just so bulky. But once I started and the weight was shredding, it was just like, no, Louise, no, you need this as well as cardio as well. It's like, yeah, this can work. This is working. And I haven't got bulky. Yes, my muscles have defined, and I love that.
Mhm.
But I'm not like, Incredible Hulk. Like,
You remember when you said to me, "Oh, I'd never go and train in the gym."
yeah. And now look, I'm just, listen, the gym is just like my second home, as well as training with yourself. But I do enjoy going to the gym. The sessions that I do, like, I really enjoy them.
So how has the weight training, has it affected your mindset? Has it affected how you think?
Definitely, because I'm very a person that's very determined. Like if I'm at a certain weight, like we was talking earlier, I'm at a certain weight and I've been pushing myself up a little bit more. So now I'm in the gym tomorrow, so I know I'm gonna be like, whoop, push it again. Like I'm one of them people. Like I want to do well, so I want to push myself.
Got it. And what part does like mindset work play in all of this? Because obviously nutrition, training is what everyone talks about, but no one talks about this bit. So
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes I'm not gonna lie, every person. Well, I hope every person, but sometimes you have days where you're just like you just can't be bothered.
Mhm.
You can't be bothered. It's like there's sometimes, like for instance, like if the weather's too hot, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna walk. It's too hot. I just can't be bothered. We'll do it another day. We'll do it the next. We'll do it when it's cooler. Sometimes that coolness is not coming. Like you just don't know. But my mindset is always like, what are you doing this for, Louise? You want to do this because you want to be leaner, stronger, healthier. But I have them things in my head as well as my goals that I've obviously written down at the beginning of the year, especially to do with my weight wise and health wise. I look at them. I have them on my phone now, so I do look at them. Try and
wow.
look at them every day. If I don't, it's usually every other day, just to remind myself, like, yeah, this is what I'm doing this for, and I feel good. And then it just pumps me even more. When I go to the gym, I'm like, yeah, put in your headphones, and that's it. You just block out everybody else. Because remember, I used to say to you, I didn't like go to the gym because all the other gym head people, I didn't want no one to see me or watch me. Now I'm very dominating. I make sure I get my spot. This is me. This is my area. Leave me alone. Music in, and that's it.
So now you're like a gym influencer girl.
Oh, I don't know, but now I'm just like, I'm so focused when I'm in there.
I remember when we did a gym session maybe a couple of months back, me and
Yeah,
you,
we do.
and I have to say I was like impressed about how much you just physically and mentally changed in terms of the way you trained, uh,
Yeah,
and the kind of focus you have now when you train.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy training with you. I was actually gonna ask you, I was like, oh, we need to do it again. But
I'm sure we can sort that out very
we
soon.
did sort that out. Yeah, of course, definitely. I do enjoy training with you.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. I think yeah, it's just seeing you level up, and it's not just in your health, but it's also impacted other areas of your life. So your
Mm.
business, and we've talked about business, and we don't
Yeah,
just
definitely.
we don't just talk about fitness and
No,
nutrition.
we don't. Yeah, and you've given me a few pointers. I remember the time when you said, Louise, you need to up your price, and I was just like, ah! And I did it, and look, they're still there, and I've had more. So yeah, I've been frightened to do certain things, but I just like, you know what, I've done it now, and it's just like, and it still works out. So there's nothing really to be frightened of.
And are there other members of your family that are giving you feedback, people that are close to you that love you, that are like they're proud of you?
Yeah. Um, Apart from my other half, he had his moments where he says certain things, like, oh, you've dropped too much weight. But he's like, because at the moment we're kind of training a little bit together. He is like, you're good. He's like, I'm really proud of you. Like, I see the difference in you physically, mentally, and it's like he sees the better version of me now, and he's loving it. It's not like he didn't love me before, but now he's like, yeah, this is Louise, and I'm just like, yeah.
Got it. So if you were to leave a message for any women watching this or listening to this podcast back about what they should start doing to transform their lives, what would you say to them? What
But
advice would you?
first of all, I would say it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to think about you first. Because you got to remember, if you're not good, how is everybody else going to be good? Like your household, your kids. Because if you're miserable, they're just going to be like, oh, mum's miserable. Oh, here we go again. Like, they just get in, you know what kids are like as well. And then, kids, they love to chat your business sometime as well. Mum's always shouting. I've been there already. And so, yeah, put yourself first.
So hold
And then
on, can I just hold you there for a second? So you saying that you feel like you're now a better parent as a result of?
of course, definitely. I'm not afraid to say that. Yeah, I am. But I'm not gonna lie, looking back, yeah, I was probably not even a pain. I was probably just annoying. Like I was just like miserable. It was just like, and then obviously food became a little bit of a comfort as well. So then I would eat, and then I would be like, oh, I've overeaten, and I'm miserable again because I feel big, and it was just like, yeah, it's like a vicious
Cycle.
cycle. Yeah.
Mm.
But now, obviously, like I said, drop the weight. I've been focused on my fitness, eating, nutrition, everything. And now I'm just like, yeah, a better person.
So I know I asked you a very big question before you were about to spin into some advice, but I just want to
Okay.
on something because obviously you work full time, you've got three boys, partner, a business. Like, how do you have time for all of this? Because that's what a lot of women, I guess, listening to this will be like, how is she doing that? Where is she finding the time?
It's called a diary, and I write everything down, and
Yeah.
I schedule everything in, and I have a day off as well. So Sunday is my day where I don't train. I will go for a walk. I won't run. It's just a walk. Because the weather's all right at the moment. Like we will just go for a walk. The kids will go in the park, and I'll just walk around. I'll listen to a podcast or I'll listen to something, and then I will relax. And then I will go through my diary, go through my full time job if I've got meetings or whatever. Put them all in, train, and then obviously my other diary for my other business, my lash business. I will check that to see what's going on there. Make sure I've got enough time for everybody. And then yeah, but it's a diary. It's a diary and planning. Because if you don't plan, you're just gonna be all over the place.
I
How are you
remember
gonna know?
I remember we
You
had
know
that.
what? I never used to plan. And when I first started my business, I was at one job, then I'd be rushing back because I've got a client at the back, and then it'd be like I haven't even sorted out everything No, planning and time, make time for everything.
Love it. I remember that we had a coaching call and we talked. I don't think we actually talked about training. We just talked about your business and
Yeah,
how to set up a calendar and stuff, and then you
yeah,
implemented. I think that's the one thing I would say about you is that 99% of the time you just implement. You just go and
hmm
just get it done.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah,
Okay.
the diary is like my best friend right now. I've actually got three because obviously I'm planning a wedding. So it's like,
Three diaries.
I've got,
Why don't you just put them in one?
no, the wedding is separate, but the other two is obviously work and business. Both of my work ones, but yeah, like if it was, you know what, it was you. I think it was the end of last year. I don't know if it was the end of last year or the beginning of this year where you were saying something about a diary. How I can't remember, but you said mention something about a diary, and from that, yeah, I was just like, yeah, got to get a diary. From that, it's been my life. Like everything is in there. Like I said, literally 6 days a week. I'm working. Sundays, nothing. Chill day. Sort out everything. Ready for the new week. Sort out the kids. Ready for school and everything like that. And then literally Sunday is literally like the chillest day.
So that's a really interesting point because a lot of people will be going 6 days a week. You're working, you're training, but that says to me something a bit more about you've created a life that you enjoy doing. So 6 days a week,
Yeah,
problem.
that's to me. That's nothing because even a lot of people do 6 days a week. You say you like you work and you train, and I'm like, yeah, because I fit it all in because I'm up early. That's another key point. I'm up early. I'm in the gym early as well. So if I get my gym, my run, everything done from early, then I've got the whole day to obviously work and do my other business. So it's not a problem.
Got it. Got it. There's some good insights. So here's a question. What's the worst exercise for you?
um, let's think. Oh, because I remember I said to you, I'm not really keen on it.
Hip thrusting.
Before, yes, that's the one. But if I do it on the machine, it's all right.
Hmm.
But doing it with the bar, oh my god, it's a killer. But I am determined to get better at it, though. I think it's something that I need to work on. That's all.
Okay. So you don't see it as an exercise you'll never do again. You're just like, okay, I want to
I
get
just need to get, yeah, I just need to get better at it. That's all.
got it. So it's been fun. Like, 3 years of working with you.
It has. It has been fun. And hopefully it'll be like another 10 years, yeah? You're not getting rid of me now.
For the listeners of this podcast, as an automated recording, I have now left the podcast. I
Yeah.
should. Okay. No, it's been a pleasure. I think, obviously I saw you run around with my little sister.
Yes.
Was mayhem, but
Yeah.
to grow as you have done and create a business and create a life that you pretty much want all the time. That's been amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it has. Yeah, because even when I look way back then till now, I'm just like, oh wow, it's been a journey. But the last say 3 years has been like the best, and I've really enjoyed it. And I'm just gonna carry on. Now it's not really a journey; it's my lifestyle now. I wouldn't change it. So I'm very happy with how things are going and what I'm doing.
It's the person you are.
That's right. And anybody can do it.
What do they need though? Because they'll hear that as a motivational message. Oh, you can do it, but they won't. So what's the missing ingredient, do you think, for people?
You got to really want it as well, and you've got to have the right mindset as well. If you're going to do this, you've got to get your mind right. Don't be half-hearted and be like, okay, I'm going to train, but I'm not going to eat right. I'm going to eat right, but I'm not really going to move much. Like they've both got to be in hand in hand. Or they can just get someone like yourself to help them as well. But their mindset, no, you've got to have that. You can't do. they've got to have that.
Yeah, I agree. I think my job is to facilitate and make sure the
That's
mindset is
right.
where it needs to be, and I can do all the techie stuff with training,
Yes.
and I can ask the questions because I know sometimes, and for the listeners, I do piss my clients off sometimes, or upset them, or annoy them with some of the questions I ask.
Do you? Yeah, you have. And you ask some of them questions where it's like, oh, it's a bit uncomfortable. And it's just like you've got to come out your comfort zone as well. Like you just got to be honest with yourself. Like a lot of the times before, especially when I was heavier, I would lie, like, oh, I haven't eaten that much, but really I have. Like, if you really want to do this, like get your mindset right. Do little by little, move a little bit more, eat a little bit less, start by that. And then once the mindset will come and be, consistent is another thing. Can't be half hearted, keep going. For myself, especially in the beginning, I was like, there's nothing, no weights moving. It will shift. It will in time. Everything happens in time. If you want a quick fix, then you can go to Turkey.
And that's a perfect note to leave this podcast on. Don't People do not go to Turkey. Don't do it. I don't want to see you on TikTok with some scar,
I
whatever.
know, isn't it terrible? Oh my gosh. But no, seriously, it can be done. It can be done.
Awesome. Thank you. You've been a fab guest. It's been nice to have a client on. I think I should do this more often.
Yeah, you should. And it's been fun. Thank you for having me.
It's all right. My pleasure. When you think you need to get yourself on some other podcasts and maybe some beauty podcasts and,
Yeah, I know. You don't know anyone that said that, actually. I will. I'm going to get myself out there.
just create your own podcast.
Thank you. You're very right there. I will let you know.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to turn into coach. So, when no. We'll leave the coaching to your sessions. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's been amazing to see your progress. And for anyone who wants their lashes done, then go support Lou. I'll put links to her business in the profile of the show. But I think there's many beneficial things Lou's dropped today. So leave a review, share this podcast with friends and family, with people who have said, "Oh, I can't do it," because I think Lou's showed that you can do it.
definitely. Definitely.
And I'll see you on the next episode of the Greg Ferron podcast. Talk soon.